Allow me to begin by reminding you yet again that I am neither Republican nor Democrat, and what I am about to say has nothing to do with partisanship or political ideology. At what became known as the Army McCarthy hearings in 1954, lawyer Joseph Welch was defending the Army, being grilled by Joe McCarthy. As the junior senator from Wisconsin, McCarthy had initiated, without any evidence, a quest to find supposed communists in the federal government and elsewhere. He destroyed many lives and reputations with his unfounded accusations. The senator had charged without providing any proof that one of the attorneys working with Welch had ties to the Communist Party. Welch responded that, till that moment, he had never fully gauged McCarthy's cruelty or recklessness. When the senator tried to press the attack, Welch responded with some immortal words. He said, "Let us not assassinate this lad further. You have done enough. Have you no sense of decency?" 7 decades later, the final 10 words of Welch that day could be directed at President Donald Trump. Despite the Democratic tradition of the clear loser issuing a concession and calling for peaceful transition to a new occupant in the White House, Mr. Trump repeatedly is charged, with absolutely no evidence to back it up, that the election was a fraud and illegal voting gave the victory to President-elect Joe Biden. During the campaign, and even to this moment, Trump has refused to commit to a peaceful transition to an administration. His lawyers filed a fistful of lawsuits in battleground states, a number of those quickly and wisely tossed out by the courts. And yet the president continues to threaten even more legal action. Now, none of this should surprise anybody who's been paying attention to Trump's very public displays of just who he is. And yet the depths to which he is willing to go were startlingly evident when this week he spoke from the White House, standing behind the seal of the president in a shocking and disgusting attempt to undermine the integrity of the U.S. election process, the very bedrock of our republic. If there is anyone still not convinced that he is unfit for the office, that display alone should have answered the question. Trump has never understood the gravity and the importance of the job. He chose to make it all about himself instead of serving all the American people. He used the bully pulpit to divide and to stoke the fires of hatred instead of the traditional presidential role of being the nation's uniting force. And thus, in the end, he has only himself to blame for his re-election defeat. Joe Biden now faces a gargantuan task, trying to stitch back together the rent fabric of this nation. It would be refreshing and totally out of character for Trump to now pledge his full support to smoothing the way for the man who will replace him. We should not hold our collective breath waiting for that to happen. So in the end, we are left with Welch's exasperated words, which I now direct at Donald Trump. Sir, you have done enough. Have you no sense of decency?